Fears, worries, and insecurities can hold you back from sharing your ideas and putting your work out there. Fear can end up suffocating your creativity because you'll think, oh no, I shouldn't do that. That's just silly. Oh no, people will just make fun of me if I do that. Oh no, that's not really a good idea. Better not share that. Better not put that out there. Maybe I shouldn't even bother attempting it. But the thing is, your creativity is important. Creativity is what brings new things into the world. It can impact others and make a difference in people's lives, and also can be very healing for you as well, because you're able to express yourself and put yourself out there with your own creativity. But fear can hold us back and prevent us from actually sharing those gifts with the world. So in today's episode, we're going to look at the 4 fears that can be suffocating your creativity. Fear can leave you playing it safe, just doing the things that you think are normal, acceptable, and that people will definitely love. And it can prevent you from, trying out new things, experimenting, doing something that's different, and getting really creative and doing things your own way. And so you're holding yourself back because of that. You're just playing it safe, doing what you know will be all right and will fit in and everyone will like, rather than feeling that freedom to just create what you really want to create. But the world doesn't need more of the same old stuff. We need people bringing in fresh new ideas and creativity and inventions. Imagine if inventors or people created that great works in the past thought, oh no, that's too different, I can't do that, that won't be acceptable. Then we'd never progress, we'd never be creating new things, bringing new things into the world, and the world would stagnate. So while creativity takes courage, it's a courage that's necessary if we want to see new things in the world, make a difference, and really impact other people with our talents. I really believe that you were given your gifts for a reason, and it's not to hide them under a rock and just put out what seems like the safe, normal thing to do, but to put it out there, share it with the world, and create the things that you feel drawn to create. So let's conquer some of those fears that could be suffocating your creativity. So first of all is the fear of failure, worrying that whatever you create is going to be a complete flop. No one's going to like it. You'll get, 1 like or only 20 views, and you're thinking, oh, why should I even bother doing that, because it's just going to be a complete flop and failure. I'm just wasting my time and energy on that. What is even the point of me trying? Now, when it comes to this fear, the key is to reframe that into it's okay if it fails, because every creator, everyone that's ever invented something, created something, put something out into the world, expressed their creativity, they've had failures. Not every single thing they've ever created and put into the world has been a huge roaring success. People always have failures. Even when they are successful, they'll do things that still don't quite work, don't quite hit it off like everything else they've created. Failures are going to happen, and it's okay. Not everything is going to go well, but those failures are actually just as important. Sometimes you need to make lots of failures to get to the good stuff. Sometimes you just need to keep putting things out there, trying things out, seeing how people respond. And the more you're practicing, the more you're creating, the more you're getting feedback, the better and better your work gets. Or if you already are having some success, but you want to branch out, try something a little different, and you're a little bit worried, oh, how are people going to respond to this? Being willing to take that courage and just put it out there, even if it could fail, helps you get that response, find out, well, do people like this? Is this something that people are interested in? And if not, just, accepting that and being okay with that, because it was a bit of an experiment. Let's see how people respond to this. And maybe they don't respond well, and that's okay. And we'll be like, well, we won't worry about that. Or maybe we'll investigate more why. Maybe it wasn't the right timing. Maybe it was the wrong kind of audience. Maybe we just needed to change a few things for people to be into it. Maybe people need to see this particular style of thing more often before they, accept it and feel comfortable with it, because it's so different. And so by taking that risk, you get that feedback, you can figure things out, and you can improve and create better and better things. If you just keep recreating the same stuff that you know is already working, then you're not giving yourself that chance to try something new that may even be even better, or things that people really desire but just don't know it yet. And if you're willing to take that risk and put it out there, you're going to make a big impact on people. I often find it's good in these cases to detach yourself from the result, to not be like, oh, I need this to go well, I want this to do really well. Just, tell yourself, okay, if it gets 1 view, that's fine, Don't be so attached to that end outcome. Just say to yourself, this is an experiment, this is something I really want to try, put out there. If it doesn't work, that's fine. Now, the next fear, and I know it's one that a lot of people struggle with, is the fear of judgment, worrying what other people are going to think, especially if you're putting your stuff out there in front of friends and family, people that know you, and you're worried, what are they going to say? What are they going to think? Are they going to be laughing at me? Are they going to say, who do you think you are to be putting this stuff out there and creating this stuff? Especially if you're getting a bit silly, you know, if you're doing something where you're dancing or acting, or you're putting out your knowledge and you're worried, you know, people are just going to think I'm a bit of a fool, or that I think I'm better than I really am, and all those sort of worried thoughts that we have that people are going to think about us. It's more than likely that they're going to be cheering you on or impressed by what you're doing, or if they don't understand it, they'll just be like, that's kind of cool, but I don't really get what you're doing, but you know, you do you. What's more important is that you're putting your stuff out into the world and impacting the people that really need it most. And if people do make fun of you, do put you down, I know it's hard, but you just need to let that go, because what's more important is the difference you're going to make to the people that really needed to see that really needed your work out there. And the people that are probably making fun of you, they're the people that didn't even need it anyway. They just wanted to pull you down for whatever reason, and it's probably more about them than you. Maybe they're jealous and they wish they could be willing to put themselves out there that way. Maybe they've got issues that, you know, they've just poured it out on you because you were an easy target. It's often not actually about you. So you just need to pull yourself away and detach from that and be okay with the fact that maybe some people just won't understand it. Maybe some people will laugh at you behind your back. But what's most important is that you are given this gift and you need to put it out into the world, because you know that it's going to impact some people, and you were given it for a reason, because you're able to make a difference in people's lives with your skills and gifts. Now, similar to this is the fear of rejection. That fear that people are going to outright leave nasty comments or block you, or, you know, you're going to end up with these trolls or saying all these nasty things about you and, you know, basically making you feel terrible. They're not just laughing behind your back, but they're publicly shaming you. Or perhaps you're worried you've got a fairly good following going, but if you do something a bit different, what if you start losing followers? What if I speak up and say this thing that I really want to say, create this thing I really want to create, and people start leaving, and, you know, I start losing this following I created because of it? That feeling of rejection can be really frightening. And so it's that courage again of putting that thing out there, because you don't know how people are going to react. What if they do react very negatively? And that worry of that rejection can be very painful. When you put your own work and creations out there, you're being vulnerable. You're putting part of yourself out into the world for people to critique and, you know, comment on and react to. And so that can be a scary thing, to have that vulnerability, putting yourself out there and seeing how people actually react, and that worry of, will they reject me over this? So when it comes to reframing this fear, it's about realizing that yes, this is going to happen. Often this can be a sign of success. Once you get the haters, you know you're doing well. The reality is that you're not going to be for everyone. So you will get people that reject you, that people that won't like what you're doing, will say nasty things, will leave you over what you've created. But you've got to stay true to you and know, this is what I believe in, this is what I really want to put out into the world. And, you know, if some people don't like that, if some people want to get fired up and angry over what I've done, or leave, reject me in some way, then, you know, that's okay. That's on them. That's, you know, their issues that they've, you know, put out on you. But what's more important is you putting your stuff out into the world. You can also feel a bit of pity for those people, because they're probably hurting in some way to then put that on you, to then lash out on you. And so you've just got to see it from that empathic point of view of, you know, that person's obviously hurting or struggling in some way to get so fired up at me. So I've just got to, you know, be like, okay, I'm just going to let them go because they've got things that they need to deal with. I'm just going to focus on inspiring and helping the people that, you know, really want my stuff and that I'm actually going to make a difference to. The final fear is the fear of the unknown. When you put something out there, you just don't know what's going to happen. Especially if you're doing something really new or different, what's going to happen when you put it out there? Could there be suddenly this flurry of success and, you know, people rushing to you, wanting to put you in the press and media and all these things happening, all these opportunities come? Could you end up with, you know, your friends and family rejecting you, or all these nasty comments? Could you suddenly be flooded with orders and sales that you can't keep up with? Are you going to have to then change your business structure? There's all these different things that's unknown. It's like, what's going to happen? What's going to be the result of me putting these things into the world? Especially if you're worried about things like, what if I'm just wasting my time? What if I put so much time and energy and effort into this and it goes absolutely nowhere and I've just wasted all this time? I don't know whether this is going to work or not. And so I'm taking this huge risk. And also, what if it changes my life? Like, if you're comfortable with the way things are now, and you know, you like your routine and everything that's going on, what if putting this stuff out into the world is going to lead to a complete change of life? And that uncertainty and unknown can be scary sometimes. But just remember that whatever happens, that you can take it one step at a time. You are safe, you are strong, and you will figure it out as you go. You don't need all the answers straight away. You don't need to have a contingency plan for everything that could possibly happen. As you put your stuff out there, as things happen, you will figure it out as you go. You will find the answers and solutions to whatever comes your way. So you just need to take it one step at a time, not start thinking about every scenario, worrying what's going to happen if I do this, but just, take it one step at a time. Put something out there, see what happens. Keep putting more things out there, see what happens. Adapt and work things out as you go. And of course, enjoy the process. We don't need to know the whole journey right up front. Enjoy each little part of the process as you do your work, as you create, and as you put your stuff out there. So be fearless and put your creativity out into the world, because you might be surprised where it leads. And let me know in the comments, what's your greatest fear? What's the thing that you feel holds you back the most when it comes to creating things and putting things out into the world? And of course, if you want to learn more about creativity, branding, and graphic design, then be sure to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next time.